A new era for scoliosis care, closing the gap between discovery and treatment. For more than 3,000 years, the enigma of scoliosis has persisted, weaving its way through the annals of medical history. The earliest written references date back to Hippocrates, the ancient Greek physician often called the father of medicine, who described a serpent-like disease of the spine. Even then, scoliosis was recognized as something mysterious, profound, and deeply complex. Yet, despite centuries of observation, study, and attempted treatments, idiopathic scoliosis, the most common form of the condition, remained largely misunderstood. For much of medical history, the treatment approach revolved around brute force, rigid bracing, spinal fusion surgery, and various mechanical means designed to simply straighten the spine. The underlying causes were overlooked or outright unknown. Today, that narrative is finally changing. Thanks to new discoveries in genetics, neurology, biomechanics, and metabolic science, a new generation of scoliosis care is emerging, one that addresses the full complexity of the condition rather than merely its most visible symptom, the curvature itself. This book is about that new era. It is about how breakthroughs are closing the gap between what we know about scoliosis and how we treat it. It is about hope, science, and the belief that patients deserve better than a one-size-fits-all solution. And it is about how viewing scoliosis as a whole-body condition, rather than a mere spinal deformity, is revolutionizing outcomes for those affected by it. The historical challenge of scoliosis. Throughout history, scoliosis treatment has been a story of force over finesse. Early attempts included primitive braces made from wood or iron, cumbersome devices that offered little real correction and often caused significant discomfort. As medical science advanced, so too did the interventions, but the underlying philosophy remained the same: straighten the spine, regardless of the method's invasiveness or the toll it took on the body. By the mid-20th century, spinal fusion surgery had become the gold standard for treating severe scoliosis. Developed by Dr. Paul Harrington in the 1950s, the Harrington rod system involved implanting long metal rods alongside the spine to forcibly hold it in a straighter position. It was a groundbreaking procedure at the time, and it certainly improved lives by preventing devastating deformities and lung compromise. Yet even Dr. Harrington himself recognized the limitations of his approach. In 1963, he famously stated, "Metal does not cure the disease of scoliosis, which is a condition involving much more than the spinal column." This admission was profound. It acknowledged that scoliosis was not simply a mechanical problem that could be fixed by mechanical means. It was, and is, a systemic condition involving deeper biological processes that were, at the time, only dimly understood. A paradigm shift, scoliosis as a whole-body condition. Today, modern science has vindicated Dr. Harrington's insight. Thanks to advances across multiple disciplines, we now know that idiopathic scoliosis involves far more than just bones and joints. It is influenced by genetics, neurotransmitter imbalances, hormonal shifts, metabolic processes, and neurological control mechanisms. Genetic research has identified dozens of gene variants associated with scoliosis, shedding light on the hereditary patterns that often appear in families. Variations in genes related to bone growth, collagen formation, and connective tissue integrity all play a role. Understanding these genetic factors is allowing for earlier identification of at-risk individuals and the development of more personalized care strategies. Neurotransmitter research has revealed that certain chemical messengers in the brain and nervous system, such as serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, may influence spinal growth and alignment. These findings suggest that scoliosis could be, at least in part, a neurochemical condition, one that involves subtle dysfunctions in how the brain communicates with the body. Hormonal influences are also significant. Puberty, a time of rapid growth and hormonal upheaval, is when idiopathic scoliosis most commonly develops or worsens. Imbalances in growth hormone, estrogen, melatonin, and other endocrine factors can tip the delicate balance of spinal development, leading to progressive curvature. Metabolic factors further complicate the picture. Issues with nutrient absorption, vitamin D metabolism, and oxidative stress have all been linked to scoliosis progression. The spine, like any other part of the body, depends on a finely tuned biochemical environment to grow and maintain its structure. When that environment is disrupted, problems can arise. Finally, advancements in spinal biomechanics and rehabilitation science have provided new tools for understanding and influencing how the spine responds to forces over time. Reflexive response rehabilitation strategies, which harness the body's natural ability to adapt to postural and movement stimuli, are opening new doors for non-invasive treatment. Closing the gap, innovation meets application. Recognizing scoliosis as a whole body condition changes everything about how we approach its treatment. It means moving beyond mere symptom suppression and toward addressing the underlying causes. It means seeing each patient as a unique individual influenced by their own genetic makeup, biochemical milieu, neurological patterns, and biomechanical habits. This new philosophy has already led to practical innovations. Genetic testing panels can now identify individuals at higher risk for aggressive curve progression. Neurotransmitter and hormonal evaluations provide insights into underlying imbalances that can be addressed with targeted therapies. Metabolic testing can uncover nutrient deficiencies or inflammatory processes that, once corrected, support healthier spinal outcomes. On the rehabilitation front, dynamic neuromuscular re-education techniques such as scoliosis-specific exercise programs, proprioceptive training, and functional postural retraining are providing effective non-surgical ways to manage and even improve spinal alignment. These approaches leverage the body's innate adaptability rather than fighting against it. Perhaps most importantly, this comprehensive model of care is empowering patients and families. It is giving them a deeper understanding of their condition and offering them tools to actively participate in their own healing journey. It replaces fear and helplessness with knowledge and agency. The journey ahead. Of course, there is still much to learn. Scoliosis remains a complex and multifactorial condition, and no single treatment, whether surgical or non-surgical, is right for everyone. But by embracing a whole-body approach informed by the latest science, we are making tremendous strides toward more effective, compassionate, and personalized care. In the chapters ahead, we will dive deeper into each of these areas. We will explore the latest research on scoliosis genetics, neurotransmitters, hormones, metabolism, and biomechanics. We will examine how these discoveries are reshaping treatment options and outcomes. We will provide practical guidance for patients, families, and healthcare providers seeking to navigate this evolving landscape. Most of all, we will share a message of hope that scoliosis is not a mystery to be feared, but a challenge to be understood and met with intelligence, compassion, and innovation. The era of brute force is ending. The era of whole-body, science-driven scoliosis care has begun. And for the millions of people around the world affected by scoliosis, that is very good news indeed.